juniors come up here, and the JV team. Mr. Jaime Niffen will be speaking about you. Juniors, you can come right up here. So, Mr. Niffen, for those of you who have unfortunately not met Mr. Niffen, you probably aren't aware of what an infectious spirit he has for life. I hope that all of you have a friend like Mr. Niffen, because Mr. Niffen is not only I coach him, he's my colleague, I also have to call him my friend. Because if you have a friend like Mr. Niffen, then you have someone that makes your life better, makes your life richer and more joyful. And that is absolutely true of the way that Mr. Niffen coaches your sons, teaches his classes, and luckily for me, shares his friendship. He had to survive a week with me up in Tahoe in a cramped, it's not really an attic, what would you call that thing? It's a little bit glorified room from what Harry Potter used to live in before he went to Hogwarts, if you're acquainted with that series. And that was difficult and challenging for him, but wonderful for me, because as I told many of you already, he talks in his sleep, and he talks in his favorite language, not his first language, his favorite language, Spanish. And when he fails and says a few words in English while he's asleep, he corrects himself and apologizes for having said anything in English. So Jimmy Niffen, come up here to help us celebrate the juniors.
Good evening. Buenas noches. And first off, I just want to say thank you so much for Coach McChrystal 6 years ago asked me if I wanted to coach cross country, and thank God I said yes. It is such an honor to be part of this team, and it is a blessing. So thank you, Coach. Also, I just want to say a special prayer for my Aunt Sharon, who passed away on Thursday, my godmother, and I love her so much, and so if we could just have 30 seconds of silence and say a prayer for her. My Aunt Sharon is my godmother. My Uncle Billy, my godfather, passed away when I was in junior high, 13 years old, and both very much blessings to me. And my Aunt Sharon always reminded me that when I was a kid, I would always say nice day, so I want to say nice day to all of you right now. My speech isn't the best tonight, but I'll give it my best. But I love this team, and it's a very special family for me. Thank you. Gracias. All right, so it's my speech. Once again, I'd like to thank, first of all, I'd really like to thank the parents. They're so generous. Always at every single meet, it's like a feast. And if I forget to bring my food, or even if I do, there's plenty to eat. So thank you so much, parents, for cheering on your sons and raising such gentlemen. I'm looking over here to my right at the juniors and seniors, and Coach is going to talk a lot about the seniors, but it's just a very, very, very special group and loving group. And when Coach Ray was running and I first started coaching, I remember going up the switchbacks in Allen Rock Park, and he said, "This is an insanely positive team," and it really is. So, thank you for that. I'd also like to say thank you to our Jedi Master, Don Patricio McChrystal, for making our job something that is much more than that. He plans each and every activity so that our boys learn and race to the best of their abilities. The Tahoe retreat, it was amazing. I am so thankful that I got to do that for the first time. And thank you, Coach, for bringing those goos and chocolate milk and coconut water after each run, as I was ready to collapse. I also want to say thank you to those 14 runners up there for sharing part of their life with me also. It was very, very special. Thank you. Our JV team had an amazing season, winning every race that took place in. More importantly, the fastest to the slowest on the team gave their all and helped each other improve throughout the year, letting each other know what they were doing well on what improvements that could be made. I remember Coach Downs was helping me out with the JV at the Westmore, and he had a great idea, I thought. And it was pair share afterwards, and talking about what they did well and what they could improve on. And that's something that we did for the rest of the season. Also, I'd like to say the JV pre-race and post-race, it was just a pleasure to be with, and also losing my voice while I cheered them on too. Coach Downs, thank you for some of our chats that we had up at Allen Rock Park this year. It was a huge help for me in my personal life. I very much appreciate that. And Coach Ray and Coach Deanda, thank you for bringing that young energy to the coaching staff. You guys are very kind, brilliant, joyful, and thank you very much. So the runners, like I said earlier, they did very well. I think it's like Coach Ray said earlier, it's not just about running fast, running slow, cheering each other on. It's also about doing things on and off of the courses, and our team does so much to help our community in so many different ways and help our world also. And I'll talk about that a little bit more in the future. So off to the different races that we had, starting off with the early bird. I tend to like stats a little bit. I'll just have a few tonight because we have to get to bed. There's school tomorrow. But I also wanted to mention K-Chill in the speech tonight. And the runners, they trusted in their training and performed well at every event. And in the famous words of K-Chill, they closed the gaps, kept their eyes up, and ran with their packs. K-Chill, it's great to see you. Great to have you here. We very much missed you this year. Now on to our meets. The juniors at the early bird started with their domination. There were too many PRs to mention, like I said earlier. We ended up with 65 to St. SI had 84 and Homestead 165. Our top 7 were Avila in 3rd overall, Welsh, Thomas Bousset, Aziz, Daniel Gersa, Derek Shue, and Matthew Busse. Also, something that's very important to know about cross country for the freshmen here, that they already know about now, is talking about the gaps, and that's between our 1st and 5th runner, and that gap in that race, and I'll mention them pretty much in every race, was a 38-second gap, so that's very impressive. Now on to the next one. PRs, I'll just mention a few. Jacob Detmeyer, 219, Joseph Matan, 227, Michael Martinez, 215, and Jacob Carson at 114. On to the Lowell Invite in San Francisco, Bellarmine 20, Palo Alto 63, SI 77, top 7, Gadali, Doyle, Mateo Busse, Hase, Gurza, Detmeyer, and Shue. Once again, too many PRs to mention, but this gap, 11 seconds. Round invite, we had our top 14 runners at Stanford that day, but still managed to do very well. Special thanks to August Uffelman and Bennett Shaw. They were huge in the morning, helping the coaches get the freshmen and sophomores ready to race. Thank you guys very, very much for that and many other gifts that you provided to the team. We ended up, once again, 20 points, SIA with 88, and Lincoln of San Francisco, 88. Our second runner to 6th, had a 12-second gap. Top 7, Shaw, Hang, Lanoy, Martinez. I think I'm skipping something here. Ram invite, we ended up with 20, SI 88, and Lincoln and San Francisco a few points back. And once again, the top 7 were Shaw, Hang, Lanoy, Michael Martinez, Matan, Carson, Prane, and too many PRs to mention. WCL 1 at Baylands, once again, Bellarmine 21, St. Francis 57, SI 73, top 7, Maniz, Projet, Hase, Mateo Busse, Detmeyer, Hang, Lanoy, 33-second gap, lots of pack running, 3 under 5:30, 16 more under 6. Kevin Sadayo and Reed Piercy, neck and neck, with Lazar pushing them along. And Leano and Kunal both had great kicks, and I'm very happy to say that Kunal stayed healthy all season long. That was awesome. And I wasn't there for the Del Oro for the past couple of years. It's a great race. I was in the first year we raced there. It's very awesome to race under the lights. I still remember playing soccer on the field up there with Bennett Shaw, and there was a kid out there that was He had a very good left, so I was calling him Messi, and one of my favorite soccer players. But anyway, to the Del Oro, they did very well. I believe they got coached at, was it a Bellarmine 15, Placer 78, etc. Reed Piercy, PR by 148. Hector Martinez, I believe he got injured during the season, 2-8. Detmeyer 137 PR. And Nick Sousa and Connor Klickgard representing the Shark Pack at 109 and 112. Thanks you guys for the t-shirt. And top 7, Hasse, Prage, Mateo Busse, or Matthew Busse, Hang, Ursa, Lanoy, Detmeyer. 30-second gap at that one. And I can't wait to make it next year. Sarah invited Crystal Springs. There was a 16-second gap. Bellarmine ended up with 37, Willow Glen with 50. And Maria Carrillo from Rican Valley, Santa Rosa, from my stomping grounds, 70 points. Top 7, Baton, Carson, Valencia, Sese, Connor Crinian, Sedayo, Clem, and Ramirez. And then we had 7 under 6, 6 under 6:15. And I'm talking about parents, I'm sure you all know this, but if not, we had race pace, 7 under 6 minute pace, 6 under 6:15, 4 under 6:30, 4 under 6:40, 7 at or under 7. And then Coach McChrystal talks about this race, and it's very important for this race, the standard control for the first mile, pack racing during the second, creating gaps, and then opening up during the downhills. Once again, they trusted in their training, and it paid off. PRs, just have a few. Landis 116, Nelson 223, Paulo 101, Gibson 202, Lustig 103, Lebec 256, etc. WCL 2 in beautiful San Francisco, Bellarmine 15, St. Francis 70, SI 85, and just in case the freshman parents don't know this, once again, 15 points is a perfect score. Yep. And so, very well done. Another great day for the belts, going 1 through 9. A few PRs for the day. Gibson 155, Newcomb 144, Pell 132, Wiley 134, Sedayo 105, Michael Martinez 116. 32-second gap. Top 7, Thomas Busse, Prage, Gersa, Shu, Mateo Busse, or Busse, sorry about pronunciation there, Lanoy, and Hang. Now, something interesting about this race, Jacob Detmeyer, very fast runner, very competitive. Love having him in Spanish 3 honors as well. He knows that I speak Spanish much better than I speak English, and he gets trampled. He's going from probably maybe number 15 to number 136, and then he ends up finishing at 8th place overall, 8th for the belts, and he's still PR'd by, I believe, 35 seconds. Well done, Jacob. We gotta get to bed. Top 9 under 5:45, next 12 under 6, 5 more under 6:15, etc. WCA finals, Crystal Springs. It was warm one, but we finished well. Bellarmine ended up again with 15 points. St. Francis 66, SI 88. Top 7, Beniz at Blazing 1605. Shaw, Shu, Thomas Busse. Alex Scales, a freshman, in 5th place. Prage, and the great Thomas Doyle. Now to the most improved runner, most inspirational runner, and most valuable runner. We'll start off with the, I think I'm going backwards, but I think that's okay. Let's start off with the most improved runner. This racer ran his first race at Stanford this year. He finished 3rd out of 7 for the Bells in the Varsity B. His overall time was 16:30 with a race pace of 5:19. At Del Oro 4000, under the lights, he finished 3rd for us, PRing by 57 seconds. At the Sarah Invite at Crystal Springs, he was 6 to 7 for us with a 103 PR. Finally, this runner won the JV race at the WCL2, finishing with a time of 16:13, 5:24 race pace, and a 107 PR. Let's give a big round of applause, and that's why summer running really pays off. June, July, and August, and hard work, dedication, running with grit. Thomas Busse. Next up, the most inspirational runner. I'm just looking over here, and it could have gone to so many people. I'm not going to name names right now, but I will after. But as we're just talking, but wow, amazing grace. But on to the one that we chose. This runner was always all in. Always smiling, leading by example, constantly improving, trusting in his training, encouraging others to do the same. He has a glowing energy and is an amazing athlete, not just in running, racing, frisbee, basketball. I think his brother thinks he's better than him, I've heard that's true, but I'm not sure. I don't want to cause any problems, but they're both amazing athletes. He took second place at the Del Oro, ran varsity at the Ram Invite. He took second place at the WCL, PRing by 28 seconds. Come on up, most inspirational runner, Prajay Lolavatu. Finally, to the most valuable runner. Pre-race, one race, he said to talking about the JV. I often have the JV runners, some of our top runners, give the pre-game speech and talking about strategies and whatnot, and then I try to throw a little sugar maybe on top. But run with purpose, passion, and love. He won the Del Oro. He leads by example year after year. He is very positive, kind, and I believe wise beyond his years. His playlist up in Tahoe is very much enjoyed by the adults. He broke 16 at the Sarah Invite at Crystal Springs, 4 of 7 for the Bells, and 12th overall. His time was a blistering 15:55, and he PR'd by 25 seconds. Feel the rhythm? Feel the rhyme? It's racing time. Oh, yeah. Now, I think I'm missing something there, Michael Hossie. Let's go, Bells. It's racing time. So come on up, Michael Hossie. Thank you very much. And sorry for that butchered speech, but anyway. Come on up, juniors. Marcus Avila. Matthew Bussey. Thomas Bussey. Nicholas Clevenger. Spencer Day. Spencer D. Jacob Detmeyer. Nicholas DeRuder. Nicholas Ferrari. Aziz Gadali. James Gibson. Marcus Gray. Daniel Gurza. Zachary Johnson. Jacob Carson. Stephen Landis. Michael Martinez. Aiden Mellon Reyes. Derek Shue. Emilio Valencia. Donald Welsh. Scott Yang. William Yergin. And Jose Matan. Thanks again, parents. Hello, coaching. JB.
Thank you very much, Jimmy. Okay. I'm going to speak about the seniors, but before I call the seniors up, just a few things. First off, on behalf of, juniors, great job, tremendous season. For those of you who might wonder why 2 seniors won JV awards, it's because in cross country, the varsity is the top 7 runners, as chosen by the coach regardless of their class, and then the JV is all the juniors and seniors that aren't in that group of 7. And so with a team as deep and as large as Bellarmine's, we have a lot of seniors who run JV, and those 2 seniors happen to achieve those things that Jimmy talked about there.